Hello, and welcome back to... Did we actually pick a name this time? Aha! We finally did. After much deliberation and many, many ideas, well, we had many rules to those ideas too. It could not be too corny, it could not be too boring, it couldn't have an apostrophe or a comma, and it certainly could not have copyright issues. So, therefore, welcome back to Beyond the Borders. Uh-oh. Black hole ahead. We're gonna get sucked in. No. Okay, not a real black hole. Well, we are going to kind of a black hole, or at least as is known to the CIA. North Korea, the Asian nation I talked about before, is called a, quote, black hole by the CIA. Obtaining intelligence from North Korea, either through covert means or photos or anything else, is impossible. So therefore, North Korea is a black hole. Its leader, his name is Kim Jong-un, and I will call him Kimmy. He is a rather rotund man, but at the same time he's also a rather scary man. Yikes. Unlike Italy and Slovakia, North Korea has been in the news a lot recently, mainly because of, well, our president, and also for the fact that North Korea is a country unlike any other. First, a little history. Kimmy took power in 2011 upon the death of his father, Kim Jong-il, who ruled the country from 1994 to 2011, 17 years. Before that, his father, Kim Il-sung, ruled North Korea from the aftermath of World War II up until his death in 1994. Kim Il-sung is considered the founder of modern-day North Korea and is labeled the country's eternal president. So yes, North Korea is the only country that has a president from the grave. Isn't it spooky? It's a ghostly president. But, well, that's North Korea for you. Since 2011, Kimmy has used his rule to launch missile after missile towards Japan, into the Sea of Japan. Yeah, Japan's not happy, to say the least, and has even tested nuclear weapons 4 times in blatant violation of international treaties. This has not made anyone happy, including North Korea's big brother, China. China, of course, has been known as a fellow communist brother of North Korea that has bailed them out over and over and over and over again. It annoys pretty much everyone else. It annoys the U.S., it annoys South Korea, and it annoys Japan. And the EU, and Australia, and who knows. Everyone. But China, through its doggedness, has kept supporting North Korea. And there's good reasons why. A collapse of the North Korean state caused by a total economic blockade would lead to a massive refugee crisis that would strain the Chinese budgets. Yeah, the Chinese would not be happy with that. Unlike his father, who was rare in his assassinations, Kim Jong-un seems to assassinate and purge using rather extreme methods, such as anti-aircraft guns, using starving dogs to eat his poor uncle, supposedly. I mean, that was just a rumor. It's never been proven. But the fact that there's a rumor makes it just as crazy. And other nasty means. Yeah, he's a nasty guy. And unlike his father, Kim Jong-un has dramatically accelerated the testing of missiles and nuclear weapons. Now, you may wonder, why would Kim be so provocative? Why would Kim be threatening nuclear war and stressing everyone out? Well, this is a good question. And unfortunately, the answer is not very simplistic. One faction thinks that he is acting so provocatively because he intends to retake South Korea by force. However, this is a minority faction. I doubt that he could really attempt to take South Korea by force because for Kimmy, this would be the end. His fat body would simply explode. However, a larger faction thinks that Kimmy acts so provocatively for one purpose: to survive. Unlike his father, who mainly used the country's missile and nuclear programs as extortion from other countries, Kimmy actually fears an American attack. Considering that the United States has invaded other countries in the past, Kimmy has every reason to be frightened that one day the United States will take the, quote, military option and get rid of him. And now it is time for our quiz. Da 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 da. This is my first time. This is my first time doing it, and I don't know what to expect.
So we have a quiz segment with me, his editor, and a Super Quest.
And my brother.
Channel. Yes, and his brother. And I will be asking him quiz questions every episode.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and hopefully he will get some of them. And
well, I expect to get all of them, right?
Yes, I expect you to get all of them. Some of them, I picked very hard questions for this week. So your first question is, which country has purple on its flag? Yes, purple is a very rare color going back.
I found that video. Yes, it's Dominica.
You got it.
Yeah, I told you. I just watched that video. Did you see that same video that I did?
No.
Whoa, I just saw that video. Whoa, strange coincidences
And because you didn't even use the multiple choice answers, you get extra points.
Whoa!
What is the fourth most populous continent?
Fourth most populous continent. Let me see.
What is the fourth most populous continent? South America, North America, Africa, Europe.
Okay, well, Asia's the most populous continent. Then it's then Africa, the fourth most populous continent. I think Europe is third. Then I'm going... No. North America has to be third. Yeah, so Europe.
Are you sure?
I'm going to say final answer.
That is wrong.
What?
It is actually North America.
No! Oh, I just was guessing there. I knew it was between North America and Europe, and I was split.
And our next one is, Jeju Island belongs to which country?
South Korea.
South Korea. Got it. He knows.
Do you even need...
He knows every island in the ocean.
Well, Jeju Island, by the way, is also known as South Korea's Hawaii. If you want a vacation in South Korea, you will go to Jeju.
Never been to Jeju.
Maybe you'll go one day. I'll invite you.
Wow, okay. So this one, if you remember your science, which is kind of tied into geography, and you get this without the multiple choice, you get eternal glory, all right?
Okay, I like that.
What is the circumference of the Earth?
Oh, no.
At the equator.
Okay, I don't know that. I don't. I wish I did. I mean,
it's a big number.
I know it's a big number, but just do the multiple choice. I have to take the multiple choice.
25,000, 150,000, 100,000, 10,000.
Wait, 25, 100,000?
150, and 10.
Circumference. I would say it would be about 25.
That is correct! Yay! You get 25,000 points.
Well, I just knew it was about 10,000 miles to Australia, so that's how I did the math.
And then you multiplied it and square rooted it, and okay.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
That's it?
Yes.
That's it?
I have 4 questions.
Meanwhile, South Korea has had a dramatic leadership change. At the end of 2016, President Park Geun-hye was ousted from power, impeached, because of bribery and abuse of power. Thankfully for South Koreans, her approval rating was 5% at the time of her impeachment. Mrs. Park is now rotting in jail, and hopefully will be for a long time. Meanwhile, her replacement, Moon Jae-in, has a very different policy towards the North than Park. Park's policy was hardline, basically banning all economic cooperation with North Korea and making strong efforts to isolate the country economically. Moon, meanwhile, has a grand vision for the reunification of North and South Korea, a peaceful reunification at that, which is quite a tall order, considering that most experts say that a peaceful reunification is impossible. The logistics to such a reunification are daunting. First of all, the North Korean regime, Kimmy and all, would need to have their interests accommodated so they would not be, shall we say, dominated by Southern interests. Also, Southern interests would want to ensure that they are not dominated by Northern interests. Ultimately, both sides would find it hard pressed to give too much advantage to the other. Yeah, it makes it really hard. But anyway, Moon was defeated in 2012 against Park in an election that most analysts agree was rigged in Park's favor. But now Moon has a chance to clean up the corruption in South Korea, so go Moon. And then there is another leader that we haven't talked too much about. That, of course, is President Trump. Last August, you probably remember that Mr. Trump threatened fire and fury against North Korea should they continue to threaten the U.S., and that the military option, yes, the dreaded military option, was, quote, locked and loaded. In spite of the wild rhetoric from President Trump, the administration has actually been pretty successful. Recently, certain sanctions have been implemented against North Korea, even those that have included Chinese cooperation. The main reason, of course, that China has cooperated with sanctions... Oh, and by the way, I need to mention what sanctions are. Most people probably don't even know that. A sanction is where the United States, the financial capital of the world, decides to ban individuals, companies, and sometimes even entire countries from the American financial system. This is, of course, an outcome that everyone wants to avoid, since most of the world's financial trading goes on in dollars, and thus any cut off from the dollars, slice, would be a big, big blow to anyone. And of course, Chinese leaders fear this too, and American officials have threatened that many Chinese banks could receive similar, quote, sanctions from the United States if they fail to implement sanctions against North Korea. So against China's best wishes, they have had no choice but to implement sanctions against North Korea. Of course, this might change, considering that Kimmy has recently visited China, and the two sides are promoting reconciliation. So, we will see on that front. One thing you should not expect in North Korea is any kind of end to the Kimmy regime coming from the inside. A popular revolution in North Korea, as much as we might try to fantasize about it, considering that the entire world is just yearning for democracy if they have the chance, is very, very, very unlikely. Because most North Koreans just don't know any better. All they know is living under the Kimmy regime. And, of course, everything else to them is chaos. And no one wants chaos. Well, okay. Well, there's one person who would like chaos, and of course that would be Mr. Ian Malcolm. Dino droppings? So what is next? Now that Kimmy has met with the Chinese president, Xi Jinping, and plans to meet with Moon Jae-in, the South Korean president, and maybe even Trump, it's impossible to say. Trump keeps threatening the military option, though many think he's bluffing, considering that a war with North Korea would be very devastating and lose many lives, American and others, and would cause a major financial upheaval, to say the least. Many wonder if Trump would actually pull the trigger. But there remains a chance, considering that many of his advisors have advised him to do that he might do that. And if he does, all bets are off. Just like King dice. Alright, so that is our video for this week. Please comment in the comment below on if you have any quiz questions. Hope there'll be something. And I will see you next time with a talk about South African politics and yet another impeachment.